Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live edition of Legend from the Past and Future Show. I am your host, Armand, and she is
Deneen.
And he is
Roger Llewellyn Parker Jr.
What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
Good, man. Everything's good. Happy and excited to be back on the show.
Yeah, we missed you last week.
Yeah. Well, I had a personal thing going on. Then one time I was sick. So.
But you're better now, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm stronger. I'm back to my natural self. Choked my grandson out about 3 times. I'm good to go.
Yeah, I saw you was at the gym today, right?
Oh yeah, I was with a bunch of majors.
So now
out there running.
This is the month of April, and it was 90-some degrees today. Wasn't it hot today?
Dang, it's 90 degrees here too.
Yeah. Well, you down south. It's always warm down there.
I'm freezing. I got a jacket on, right?
It looked nice on you too. I thought you was just styling.
No, I had to go. I just grabbed the first one I could see because it was cold in here.
Well,
I'm excited about our guest today.
But check this out first. All right. It's going to be hotter here than it will be in Florida, where my wife and I is going tomorrow.
Now, El Nino. That's what it's called.
I'm telling you.
After all these years, we still saying El Nino.
El Nino.
I don't remember them. They had another one, a storm.
El Nino means the weather is not what it is different.
Yeah, but I thought the cause of that was the last time it was this big storm. Have they had another storm? I haven't really been following.
No, but it's just the effects of the storm.
Oh, okay.
If the storm is still like the weather is topsy-turvy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, before we bring our guest on, I want to say, Faye Bell, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Now, we got a hot guest tonight. I'll chop up her last name. So when she comes on, I'm going to ask her to pronounce that last name for us. But coming to the stage is none other than Courtney.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the show, Courtney. Welcome to the show. How are you? Now, what is your last name, ma'am?
My last name is Buiniskis. I tell everyone, if you forget how to pronounce it, like the meniscus in your knee, hibiscus flower, but it's Courtney Buiniskis.
Well, how about Courtney B? Is Courtney B?
Courtney B. As long as you remember the name when it's time to vote, we are all right.
Ooh, yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Make it easy for him.
Awesome caveat. Awesome.
Yes.
That was good. Well, Courtney, we're going to start the show off. And the way we do it here on the Legend Show, we travel back and come forward. So tell everybody about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
Well, I was born in Annapolis, and I was raised in Southern Anne Arundel County, which is all the way down past Edgewater, down Muddy Creek Road. I grew up on Deal Churchton Road in the late 80s and 90s and graduated from Southern High School, so go Bulldogs.
So I'm going to tell you, right now, Bulldog stuff, we don't want to hear that, okay?
I'm a proud Bulldog, yes. Go Southern.
We got 3 Panthers up in here.
Great Panthers up in here.
So I've got some cousins, so I think we're safe that went to Annapolis.
Right. All right. So where did you go to college at?
I went to college at Anne Arundel Community College. Then I graduated to University of Maryland, and then I got my master's from Capella University.
Woo, awesome.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we got a highly educated one tonight. I tell you, we got to come with it, huh?
Now, you guys are already coming with it.
So Courtney B, tell everyone out there, why are you the most qualified to be registered will?
Well, when I'm talking to individuals, I always kind of let them know like who I am. And I really start with that I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm an educator, and it started with me being a proud community advocate. I have to tell you, in my work with the county is where I found that there was a huge gap with residents' needs and services. And I noticed this right away. But it really, to be quite honest, it started for me as an educator. I've been an educator for almost a decade at the local community college. I'm an adjunct professor. And that's where I really started seeing the needs in the community. And even at the college itself, I was one of the folks who helped found the union there for adjunct professors for fair pay. And I fought for equality. The union came there, but that's how I got my foot in the door with politics. I just gave speeches at rallies to get other adjuncts, professors motivated for their rights at the college, and then that is when other politicians noticed me. The first person that noticed me was our current county executive, Stuart Pittman, and Sheriff Everett Sesker. I actually met them at an event, and it was just history from there. Once I got into politics and started working with the county executive as a community engagement officer, I was in many different areas of the county and truly saw many different needs across the board. And that's when I really noticed, hey, this community needs more attention. This community needs more help. And then when I switched over to my role as a legislative director for the councilwoman, I serve Annapolis. I always say the tale of two cities, right? We all know that. A lot of constituent needs, but and even my own personal experiences with the Register of Wills office, from losing half of my family before I was the age of 40, having to go through the probate process. My brother had a will, but when he died at 32 years old, he had 3 children, and we were in court for 7 years. So I really learned a lot of lessons. And then when this position came up, I knew it was time to serve, and certain people, and I know you guys are going to ask me more questions, but there were certain people in the party that said, this role is right for you. You know how to lead, you know how to help the community. So I decided to step in.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Before I pass it over to Deneen, I think Faye Bell was really excited about you being here. She's very excited. And Roger and Deneen,
Yes.
Courtney and I was playing phone tag for a while to try to get this ironed out, but we finally did. And Deneen, it's on you.
Courtney, so you talked about the needs that when you realized that there were needs that needed to be met, that's kind of what kind of led you to want to make impact. Can you tell us about what you think is one of the immediate needs?
So just from an educator point of view, is education itself, right? In the community, about resources and services that our local county government offers, that our state county government offers. A lot of people simply do not know. And I found that just by having an informational session that I created in the county executive's office for 30 minutes, it opened, the floodgate to these individuals of, oh my goodness, I can go to aging and disability and get help for this. I can go to, a different nonprofit to get help for this. So I really believe that education is the first thing that opens the door for many individuals, so they even know who serves them and what's around them.
I like that. That's great. So I actually have 2 questions that I'm going to ask Roger. So I'm going back because can you tell us what register will is? Give us what is it?
Yes. So the Register of Wills, like when I ask people, what do you know about this office? They obviously say wills, right? But this office does wills, estates, trust, legal guardianship. It works with the probate court, orphans court, many different things. It protects vital records, like your will yourself, things that people come register at the office, making critical decisions over estates. If they need to be made, and they definitely work with estate lawyers as well. But there's a team of anywhere from 30 to 50 people in the office that also work as well with the Register of Wills. But there are many different functions of this office that are, heavy administrative things, but they also work, like I said, with orphans court, Excuse me, it just slipped my mind. And the other court that I just said, but it's overseeing the estate process, making sure that the personal representatives are being protected, making sure that the person that passed away, that their wishes are being met and being followed as well. Because you'd be surprised, just from my own experience. And I don't care how many happy families, there's a lot of happy families, but when someone passes away and there's a lot of money up for, I don't want to say for grabs, but when there's money left over, possessions, belongings, a lot of people change. They start fighting over things. So this is where the Register of Wills office comes in to make sure that the deceased wishes are being met.
Okay, great. Thank you. Go ahead, Roger.
Thank you, Queen of Zamunda. But she's been so bossy since she went to Africa, I tell you. But so I got a question though. But my question is now, someone passes away, and they have houses, they have land, right? But they don't have a will. What happens then?
Well, that would go through probate court. So that would be followed by the Maryland state law, and that would be decided through the orphans court as well. I know it says orphans court. It doesn't just mean for orphans, but that would definitely go through probate. And on this campaign trail, one of my biggest educational components is getting in front of that. Because if you sit someone down for 10 minutes to tell them to prepare simple documents, you can avoid that at some cost. No matter what, you're going to go through probate court. But at the same time, if you have paperwork to protect you, it's easier and the process is shorter. But if you pass away and you have no will, no documents whatsoever, that is decided through probate court, which goes through the Register of Wills.
What happened if they don't have any relatives?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. I think it would go to, and I'm not a lawyer at this point because I just want to say that, but I believe that would go to next of kin, right? Or if there's somebody that they wanted it to go to, but I believe it's next of kin. And again, that goes through probate court.
Yeah, because I know exactly what you're talking about because my family went through that with some land and stuff. That my dad is from Gillsville. So when you talk about Shady Side, I know what you're talking about. So
okay, yes,
and went through some issues when his great uncle passed away, and they had the house on the water, so it was worth a lot of money. And I'm telling you, I saw some sides of folk I thought I would never see. And I lost some respect for them too, with the way they was coming. But it was kind of cut and dry. The majority of it went to his son, which should have been the right. But he looked out for everybody. He didn't have to. And then some people felt they should have got more, even though they didn't have any interaction with him for like decades, and it was just crazy. Now, in your bio, and your bio is awesome, by the way. Now I was looking at it, I saw that you ran for some type of office in 2022, campaign for state delegate.
Yes, I actually ran for state delegate in 2022 down here in South County. So that district is called District 30B. Yes. And that was 2022. Yes, sir. I sure did. And I always say, even though it wasn't the outcome that I wanted, it was still one of the best things that ever happened to me, because when one door closed, about 25 other doors opened. And I have learned, I'm a woman of faith, that was not the path for me at that time. And I understand why everything is unfolding the way it is now. Really quick, before you move on to the next question, I wanted to go back to your property that you were talking about in Galesville. My slogan for my campaign is "Your legacy matters." I have to tell people all the time, generational wealth and African Americans. I will say 77% of African Americans do not have wills. You talk about the loss of generational wealth. I want to make sure, even at my age and in my 40s, that my house is secure and it will be passed on to my son. That is not happening a lot in our community. And like I said, 78% of African Americans are not doing this. So I try to educate and tell them, your legacy matters. You're doing everything you can to protect your stocks, your bonds, your life insurance, all of these other things. Why not take the extra step to protect your legacy in this way?
Absolutely. Now you can tell by the questions that I'm asking you that someone actually read your bio. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on to Armin. I'm petty. Petty.
Petty.
So Courtney, because it's your desire to become the registered will. I'm going to ask you a question pertaining to your experience and qualification. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
So, administrative and accounting background, how will it help you manage the complex, high volume probate process?
Wait, I'm sorry. Say it again. It broke up in the beginning.
Okay. So with your administrative and accounting background, how would that help you manage the complex, high volume of probate process?
So, and not just that background as well, my leadership and management as well. This is about managing an office in the top position, and those experiences and where I'm at now have taught me to do so. Just being in this District 6 office, I have to deal with over 77,000 constituents. I work with 7 different county council folks as well, and we have to cross bridges sometimes. I even work with other state and local officials managing things. So one of my strengths and asset is leadership and managing. Even down to my campaign, I have a team of 12 folks that I manage, and like I said, in the office, I am constantly managing a flow of phone calls, paperwork, legislation alone, working with county lawyers. I'm going to use all of these transferable skills in this position and make sure that I do it well with a team of people that know what they're doing in that office. I am not the type of person that comes in and clears house. I want to lift up others, and I plan on using the skills that are already in that office coupled with mine. So I really believe that I can shift this culture from paperwork focused to more people focused. So like I said, use all of these transferable skills that I'm doing now right into this office and lead with integrity as well.
That's awesome. So by you saying that, it just led me right to customer service. Okay. So how will you make the office more compassionate and transparent when assisting grieving families with legal procedures?
Well, first of all, I understand what these families are going through because I've been through it myself. My life experience, I completely understand. This is a must for me. Compassion, transparency, all of these things. Just making sure that these families are heard when they come in, even if it's, even the office hours itself, 8:30 to 4:30. I know people don't even get off of work until 5 o'clock. We need to be more transparent to the public. And that also includes the leader herself. The more you are seen in public, the more people see this title, they're like, oh, what is that? What do you do? And as soon as they ask me that, I'm already handing them something. Check it out. This is what we do. This is what this office is. So being a leader, being out in the community, being with the residents, letting them know that there is someone that is tangible in these offices that can help you. It is not a non-tangible task to do. I keep pushing that right now, here I am. Let me see what I can do for you. I'm already doing informational sessions across Anne Arundel County, from the Southern Maryland all the way up to Brooklyn Park, teaching these folks what this office does and letting them know what it is.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I got to agree with Faye Bell. It's all about trust, and you doing that right now as we speak. On you, Deneen.
Okay, so this kind of ties into what he was talking about before. Because you are an excellent communicator and an excellent educator, how would you use your communication skills to make the registers of will more accessible and more understandable to the residents?
Well, I'm already doing that now, to be quite honest. And I think that's why some people think I'm the Register of Wills already, because I am going around sharing what this office does, making this information accessible to people. Some people have never even seen a Maryland last will and testament. I actually show them what this document is. I explain to them, I give them a personal estate planning kit. So when you leave my session or my classroom, as I say, you are getting resources and materials. And when I'm elected in 2026, they can come and register their wills because they are ready and prepared. So just going out, talking to people, letting them see, wow, this person really cares. This person understands. They know it's tangible. They know that they can do it.
Now, with the the way that technology works now, how, I mean, is there a system, is there an app or something that people can have? People are always looking for apps, an app or something that people can tap into so that they can just go online and do these things?
So, of course, I'm not in the office now, but they do have a website. So there is a website that you can click on there and get the information that you need. Absolutely. That is one thing that I, as your next register will, that I will work on. I want to make the office more accessible because you have people that live in different states that may have to come to one state. You used to, I don't know, you guys probably remember, if you have to have a document signed, you were waiting 15 to 20 days. Well, they updated that now, right? Where you can do it online. I plan on seeing how we can streamline processes, make things more accessible for folks. How can they turn things in without driving 30 miles to get to this office? So that is something that I am going to be focused on, that I'm working on, like talking to individuals as well. I'm an educator, so I'm studying that to see how that can be done in a more efficient way.
Do you think, I'll just have this one last question until the next is, how soon should people be preparing?
It's never, I mean, as I would say, I talk to 20-year-olds, especially when they have young children. I had my child around 25, legal guardianship. What is going to happen to your children if something happened to you? So, when I meet these 20-year-olds and they're like, I only have a car, an apartment, and kids. Well, don't you want to protect your children? Don't you want to protect your assets? You probably have life insurance. You probably have jewelry, all of your cars, all of these assets add up. So people do have an estate. It's not just for rich people. Like, that's the stigma with it, right? You hear that and you're like, I don't have an estate. I'm not going to leave much behind, but it's never too early to start the process. Absolutely. And not even that, even if you started the process like 10 years ago, update your process. Okay. That's also important. Like for me, I had a will, but it wasn't updated because I had bought a house in the past 11 years and I didn't have the house on it. So I had to update that with my son, for example. The older you get, you make more money, you get more property. You want to make sure that those things are updated in your will or estate as well.
Oh, nice. That's good. That's good. It'd be nice to have like a timeline. Anytime you have any kind of significant event in your life, you need to revisit it, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Like if you have one already and you're single, but then you get married, things change. Even a living will, I tell folks, it's important, especially if you get sick or if you have a chronic condition that you're struggling with, you need to safeguard yourself just in case.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Roger, on you.
Thank you. Well, that's the advantage of being in the military. They make you do all that stuff. I never even knew what a will really was until I joined the military. And they make you have power attorney wills, who gets what, who's your trustee is, and all of that. And I am so happy and glad that we have someone with your knowledge and your motivation out there reaching out to folk like myself who don't know about that, and updating your will. That's important. I got to update mine. I'm mad at my grandson, so I'm taking him out. No.
No, I didn't say
I'm
that.
joking.
So if your grandson's watching, I didn't say that.
I'm joking. Yeah, he back there playing video game. He don't know. Anyway, so I'm petty. But anyway, tell us a little bit about your outreach initiatives.
So, I've learned that this is a skill of mine. It's very natural for me. I've always had it, even from going, being in the classroom, going beyond the classroom to coming into working for local county government. It is an absolute must for me. If we are not reaching the people, you have to ask, what are we doing? Who are we listening to? How do we know what individuals need in our community? One thing I learned working under different leaderships is hold meetings with communities. Listen to the individuals. Listen to what they need. And let me tell you, I've been all over this county, up and down. And one reason, why I was like, I've got to run for this position, because I simply never saw the register of wills anywhere I went. Never saw. I saw the sheriff's office. I saw the clerk of court. But that is another reason. Why is this office not out here doing more? And it's almost election time. So, I'm just keeping it real. My opponent was quoted in the Capitol newspaper as, this office does not do community engagement. And I could I highly disagree with her. And I said, it is time for this office to do community engagement. It was once held by a Republican for almost 27 years. And then, Erica Griswold was the past Register of Wills. There were ethical things that happened. My opponent was appointed. She wasn't elected. There's a difference there. And then you have to run every 4 years. So, I know it is my time to step up, and that's why I'm doing it. But my outreach methods are going to continue through community engagement, through meetings, through outreach. There's a lot of community events that are held in North County all of the time with different agencies there, from the fire department, police department, the sheriff. And I'm already working with the sheriff. He endorsed me for this race. 2 endorsements that are really important to me is the clerk of court and Sheriff Everett Sesker. And clerk of court is Scott Boyer. They are housed in the circuit court. They have chosen me over the appointed opponent.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You already done register of wills to us. Let's get that out the way right now.
Oh,
Where is your office actually located?
Where I work now, or the Register of Wills?
The Register of Wills, I'm sorry.
That is on Bestgate Road. You know where 888 Bestgate Road is? If you keep going back, it's housed in with the sheriff's office. You'll actually see one of my wonderful political signs when you turn in there. Yes.
Okay. Armin, we're going to let Armin have some fun.
Well, thank you. Actually, my computer is acting up right now. But accessibility is always a problem, right? Trying to find someone to talk to. How will you ensure that your office is accessible to individuals?
Well, you said how will I make sure the office is accessible to individuals?
Okay. Yes, needing help.
So when taking this office, listen, I'm not trying to change the whole office here, right? Things are going to keep running. But instead, I'm looking at small changes. Like, how can we look at the hours so they're more accessible to folks that can come after work to get things done, or maybe even before? How is it possible to reach some folks on the weekends if they don't have time to come in during the week? How can we reach them through the community? I want to make sure that customer service level is strong 100%. Folks know, the 18 folks that endorse me, they know I get it done. And I will continue to keep that mentality, make sure that our customer service rate, satisfaction rate is always high. Returning those phone calls, that is a strong point in mine. It means something to me. People are at their last straw when they call in. So it is important to capture that moment and let folks know that we are there for them. And setting a culture of fantastic customer service, that this is a must for the office.
Awesome. Now, your 2022 campaign for stability, what did you learn from that, and how did it help prepare you for today?
Oh my goodness, I learned so much from that campaign. I was a completely different person when I started that campaign and when I finished. It's really hard work to completely put yourself out there. I was a teacher and I thought that I was fine with public speaking. I even taught public speaking in higher education. So I was like, I got this. But I quickly learned it's different when you're speaking about yourself. Like, having the confidence to step out there, forming these relationships. All of these things helped made me a great campaigner. I absolutely know how to campaign. That's one thing that I learned from these great individuals that took me under their wing. So just stepping away from that, the skills, the people skills that I learned alone, how to navigate in these waters, how to build relationships with trust and how they can help you in the future. You had a second part to that question, Mr. Wallace. What was that?
How did it prepare you for today, for what you about to do today, or what you want to do today?
Oh, I'm already doing it. Like, let me tell you, I launched this campaign in May, almost a year ago, but we've been planning it before then. So it's been about 12 months since I've been on the campaign trail. It has taught me endurance, persistence, motivation, confidence, and to keep going even when it's tough. And life doesn't care sometimes what you're doing when some things get thrown in there. It has taught me to remain strong, to stand on my faith even more when it comes to even more difficult times. And I've learned that the people that you associate with and surround yourself with makes a difference. I'm going to use Faye, for example. Faye Bell. Um, Excuse me, I get a little emotional when I think of her because I met her during this time, and it has been nothing but pure joy in this relationship and how she has taught me so many life lessons. And if y'all know Faye, she gonna teach you a lesson. So I'm really grateful for these experiences and people from the last campaign and the things that I've learned.
I like that. That's great.
Wow. Can you see that comment right there?
May God bless us all without hunger, pain, sorrows, and death. Always forgive. A part of us inside of us is always watching. Perfection is never with science, but with conscience.
Yeah. Yes.
Who was that?
It went away.
Do you know who that is? I'm sure.
Somebody from YouTube.
Oh,
So on
okay.
YouTube you have these names and stuff. I don't know, but
Okay.
Well, thank you for the kind comment. Who if I didn't see
Yeah, that was sweet. That was nice. That
Faye
was
Belt
nice.
said something as well.
I
I see Faye Belt said something.
yeah.
Lack of knowledge, we are perishing.
Yeah. Go ahead, Denise, it's on you.
Yeah, you know what? With just everything you said, like every time I have a question, you already answered the question. But what I was going to talk about was mentorship, and I was going to talk. The question I had was, who mentored you? And the other piece of the question I had was, well, you did some mentoring students before. Will you incorporate like mentoring in your office? Will you continue that when you win this office seat?
Absolutely. So let's start from who mentored me. It's really interesting with education and being a biracial woman growing up in Southern Anne Arundel County. I was always placed in lower classes because I had a problem with math. Like, it was harder for me to learn in math, so they just assumed that was all around. So when I graduated from high school, they told me I would be a great grocery store worker. Literally. That is what they told me. No one had never really talked to me about college. No one really took the time to show me the next steps. I went back to college after I had my son. I was 25, 26 years old. And to tell you the truth, it was a British professor. I took an English course and learned that I could write. Like, I'm not talking about like just a paragraph, like write poetry, literature, books. and he just took me under his wing, and I learned, he helped me instill confidence in myself, if I'm being quite honest, because that's half of learning. And then his first move was I got appointed on the board of trustees at Anne Arundel Community College as a student board member. That really took me to another level. And then when I graduated, I just graduated to be a better secretary. That's why I went back to school. He said, no, no, no. And I ended up having a 4.5 GPA, went on to the University of Maryland with a full ride, and kept going on. But if it wasn't for that professor who donated to this campaign and wrote me, it was amazing. I feel like I wouldn't be where I am, and of course with God as well. So that was one person, but there have been many mentors in my life, but education-wise, that was one who really opened the doors for me. I have mentored quite a few students, just being an adjunct professor at the community college, helping them get into other programs. Helping them fill out scholarships left and right. A lot of people don't know where to go to get scholarships. And I'm like, well, you have your delegate scholarship, you have your senator's scholarship. Let's start with those. And then I just open the floodgates to so many young folks to get into school. Currently, I'm hoping to have a mentor in my work office this summer as she comes home from the University of Maryland. And then when it comes to the Register of Wills office, absolutely. I really believe in mentorship. You got to teach the youth. You got to bring them up to show them so they can learn as well. I love taking all of this wisdom from my elders. I just listen because I know that there are times that I'm going to need it and times that I have used it.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Yeah, I mean, you just need that one person to believe in you that can just take you onto a whole new path. Because I actually had the same experience with writing when I was in college, because I was just kind of goofing off, and I wrote a paper, and he said, you got something special here, and I was just like, what? The first time, as soon as you hear somebody say something that you hadn't heard from anybody else,
yes,
and they're credible, it just makes all the difference. So it's just nice to have those people in your life. And I'm excited to know that you're going to continue on in mentoring our youth, because it's so needed.
Yeah. And, I'm sitting on a couple different boards as well. I try to include as much young people as I can. I just got accepted into the Continental Society. So we're going to be doing a lot of work with the youth as well.
Yeah, that's good. And you might want to bring an intern in that does technology to help you on your technology mission.
Absolutely. Yes.
There you go. Okay, Roger.
Okay. That's great. You went to AACC, I presume.
Yes.
Yeah. So did Armin and I went to AACC.
Okay. Good. So, Riverhawk.
Yeah. Magna cum laude.
Yes.
Yeah. Me too.
I actually
it's good to have a fellow cum laude up in here, But when I was one of those kids, when I left high school, that was it. I had no intentions of going to college, But then when I joined the military, people above me, we had to do this writing and reading thing, and it was amazed that so many people couldn't read past 8th grade level. All military books are written in 8th grade level. And they had trouble reading, and I used to be, it used just frustrate me, and I would shout the word out. And then my sergeant goes, you know what? You need to go in the other room. You need to go over there with those college students. And that started me going to college. And I found out I had nobody really telling me to go, but there was nobody saying you shouldn't go either. But once I got into it, I kind of enjoyed it.
Me and my sister were first generation college students in our family.
My mother, her sisters, they got a plethora of degrees. I was playing catch up. But anyway, so you touched on it slightly, but reiterate about connecting with folks, and also their needs such as HOAs, nonprofits, and law enforcement.
So what do you mean, in the Register of Wills office, or just needs period?
Needs period.
So, working in my county job, HOAs, I find that like there could be legislation issues, something the way like the property is zoned. Some folks want that changed. Some folks don't want it changed. There's folks that want more development near their area, and there's folks that don't want development near their area. Um, you know, there's also like civil issues that they call in for, and a lot of the time it is civil issues that has to be dealt with in court. I work with the sheriff's office in ways, certain legislation that he may possibly need. He works with a lot of state senators. One thing I know that we would team up on, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you know that the sheriff evicts folks. You know that when you get the notice on your door, this is
Right.
his job to evict you, not a fun part of the job. Well, he is noticing that some of these evictions are from people that have lived there, but the person that had died, they never did their paperwork, right? They didn't get the mortgage switched over, or they didn't pay the mortgage. So he is evicting people from their family homes because they didn't have a will, or they didn't have the proper documents to stay in here. So there's a need of getting in front of these homeowners and saying, think about being proactive. Think about, even a simple will is better than nothing. So with HOAs, I noticed the needs there. With the sheriff department, there's a couple different needs, but we plan to work together on that. And I get things from, working in the office. I actually wrote that down somewhere, from complex legislation, like I said, finance, tax bills. You wouldn't even believe like how many phone calls I get about that. Residential issues, safety issues, school issues. Do you guys remember the snowstorm this winter? Or I should say ice storm?
Right.
Yes, my phone just rang for 3 weeks about that because it became safety issues. Kids couldn't walk on the sidewalk. Some areas is the county, some areas is the school and the city. So you really have to work together with different agencies and individuals and residents. Like something even as a simple playground getting taken down, you learn like the community was really upset about this. And, some people maybe should have thought about that or included the community before it happened. But even, working with residents, on things like that as well, and safety issues, and the police department as well is involved in a lot of stuff.
Is there a checklist or something that that to just kind of remind people of those things? I think that would be good, something nice to have, a checklist of, here are some of the things that you might want to look at.
So are you saying like for the issues
for the registered wills?
Oh, yes. So, yeah, when I do my informational sessions and you receive a packet from me, there is a checklist, right? Like how to protect your legacy, like safeguard your will, stay in control of your assets, plan beyond probate. And then I kind of give them another sheet of what to do first if a loved one passes away, and like you have to locate that original will, you have to obtain the death certificate, assess the estate. So when people are leaving my informational sessions, they're like, okay, this is what I have to do next. And this is what I actually do if this situation happens. And like I said, you're also leaving with a personal estate planning kit and another kit where you are going to list all of your assets. Because that's what takes the longest, is putting everything together. So when I give you this packet, it's going to be all in one place. What life insurances do you have? Do you have funeral insurance? A lot of people have different packages, and you don't want, like, if something were to happen, how are people supposed to locate all that? Like I just consistently say to my son, you go down to the Register of Wills office, and that's where you start.
Yeah.
That's
So
nice.
I'm gonna get real professional on this. Deneen, I reclaim my time, and so you got to do that with some folk. I'm trying to tell you, man. Getting back to HOAs, do you find that people, even though they're paying an HOA, do they really have knowledge about it? Or they just paying in and don't really, have knowledge about nature.
Well,
What it can do and what it can't do.
Exactly. And that's where I have to come in and clarify a lot, because sometimes there is nothing that we can do because the HOA, it's under the HOA rules. So I always say to people, when I'm in my county job, make sure you know what you're signing, make sure you know what you're getting into. But there's some things that the county does handle. But if you're signing in an HOA, you have to make sure that you read what are those guidelines, what are things that I can and cannot do. Like, I think somebody called in the other day about I'm not allowed to put up a political sign. I think that's against my First Amendment or something like that. And then come to find out it was in their HOA bylaws.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That they had signed. So, you really have to be careful of those things. And also, when we go out into the community, when I was in the county executive's office, we would bring resources such as this county executive pamphlet with all of the different agencies and places that they would probably need a number for, like the DPW, Department of Public Works, the safety lines, police lines, all of those different things. And when I go out now through my day job, it's the same thing. I use county resources as well to give to them. When I leave, I'm not just leaving you, with a fixed problem. I want to give you resources so it never happens again.
Amazing. Right. All right, Almond, better hurry up, because Queen, how Queen is. I love her to death, though. I really do.
Let me tell you this. Hold on, before he says that.
She like the little sister that always poking the bear. That's
Nag.
Hey, that's a good working relationship, because I'm the one that pokes the bear too. So,
Armand, my HOA, listen to this about the HOA. My HOA said that we can't put a screen, a security door on our door.
Why?
Wow.
They said something about making the place look like it's scary.
Oh my God.
Well, see, that might be something you can argue back a little bit. If that's not in the bylaws, then you can push back on that one. But I'm not a lawyer. But if that doesn't sound like it would be in the bylaws,
we'll see. I don't know. I was like, what? What do you mean you can't have a security door? It's weird. But anyway, there you go. Back to you.
Hey, so first of all, Courtney B, I have to apologize. My screen it became large, so I've been communicating with Deja so she can close us out when it's time to finish the interview. But I do want to welcome Elder Charles James. He came on late because he was at a meeting. Courtney,
that's another Army guy.
Top supporter.
Absolutely is. Courtney, you serve as legislative director for Councilwoman Lisa Rodvien. So, do you have any other ambitions other than what you're about to do? Because you are now the registered of wills.
That's right.
Is there anything else that you see yourself going after in the near future?
I see myself in the near future going after this position and staying in this position. This is something that I really want to do, especially with the support that's around me. I really would like to make this office more efficient for our state and county, build relationships in this office. And I know that I'm going to need more than one term to do that. So this is what I'm focused on right now. One term is 4 years. And the last register of wills was in there for 27 years. So I would like to make my mark on this office, focus on the people in the office, and build it to even more of a better capacity. So right now I am really focused on getting in this office, working on it for the next, at least 8+ years.
There we go.
Nice.
Awesome.
And always being an educator. That will always be in my realm. I will always teach as well.
So this is what I'm going to do. Okay. We're nearing the end. I'm going to allow Deneen and Raj to ask you or say something good about you, something positive, and then you get a chance to close us out. How's that?
That's great.
Go ahead, Deneen.
Yeah, what I wanted to say was, I mean, really, just thank you so much for your passion. I also wanted to say I'm so sorry for your loss. I mean, although it's been a while back, it's always not good. I'll say that way because I've had loss in my life as well. And I'm so I'm just happy that I was on with this interview today because it's really is near and dear to my heart because I've had loss in my family as well. So thank you so much for your passion about this. And I'm praying for you,
Thank
right?
you.
And I'm just believing that you are the best candidate, right? And I'm hoping that, we'll be talking to you. When is the election?
The election is June the 23rd, and early voting is the week before.
Okay, well then, there you go. Get out there and vote.
Yes.
Go ahead,
I
Roger.
just want to say thank you. I want to say I'm a caveat off her a little bit. We really appreciate you being on the show, and your enthusiasm and motivation is breathtaking. And we're claiming that. You already won this thing. We're claiming that. Now you said 18 people had put you in there or recommended you, so they had your back. You can add us 3 to it, so now it's 21. So the number's already growing.
Thank you.
Thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you.
So Courtney B, let me say this real quick, then it's yours. Next week, we have our update from the history-making Senator Shanika Henson. She will be on next week to give us an update for everything that the governor Henson pushed to his table. Take us away, Courtney.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you mentioned Senator Henson, one of my favorite people. She's actually one of the people that has endorsed me and actually has been a mentor to me for the last couple of years. So kudos to Shanika Henson and for all the hard work that she does in Annapolis and for District 30 and 30B. So I will say that. I just, I want to end this by letting folks know that remembering that education is the cornerstone to change. And I always tell people this, 68% of Americans overall do not have wills. I told you before, 78% of African Americans do not have wills. It is time to address this. This office has a lot of work to do. And I really believe by getting in front of this probate process and bringing awareness to these families, this can help with preparation time and less time in the office as well, which saves those working families money. So I just want to say thank you. I'm going to continue to engage in the community. I'm going to continue to engage in the probate community. And I want to engage with the employees there as well. And I want to find time to help better streamline processes in this office and make this office known to residents so they don't have to look at me when I knock on I think we're up to 6,000 doors at this point. What is a register of wills? I've never had someone knock on my door. So, and I am trying to change that. So, and I just want to say in closing, even when we look at our campaign reports, it's clear who we are supported by. And I'm proud to say I'm supported 100% by community members. Not half of my campaign earnings are from probate lawyers. I am here to serve the community, and they want to see that as well. So I really appreciate you, Mr. Wallace, Deneen, and Roger for having me on today. I know we were playing phone tag for a while, but I am working hard to become your next Register of Wills. And let me tell you, I wouldn't be a politician if I didn't do this. On May the 19th, I am having a fundraiser in Annapolis at the Metropolitan from 6 to 8. So if you happen to be in Annapolis, please feel free to stop by. And then I'm having a couple meet and greets. You can go to my website, CourtneyBuiniskis.com, to check me out. My platform, everything is on there. Podcasts, other podcasts that I did. But I am so grateful to you guys for letting me spread my voice and let people know why I should be their next Register of Wills of Anne Arundel County.
Why you are the next register.
There.
Well, look, you can say that, but I have to.
There you have it. Go ahead and take us out, Deja.